Okay, when I started this project, I knew that I wanted something unique, different, something that people maybe haven't seen before. A place that people could go to sit down and feel like they went back in time. With each and every aspect of it, it's neat when people gather around the kitchen table, which I've moved for this video, that the phones sort of go away and that they start to look around and see all the different unique things from the past. Today what I'm talking about is the floor. These floorboards are ginormous and they're not, none of them are uniform. Each row is the same, but they vary a little bit from, this board here is probably in the 16-17 inch range, and this one closer to the 2-foot range. It started out a little bit bigger than 2 foot, maybe 26 inches, but that top, after I got them all tongue and grooved, is 24, 26 inches. The same with this board here. But the other thing you'll notice is that I used a lot of wood that otherwise might have got thrown away. There's a huge knot here with a crack in the floor. This one as well. This is, you can actually see the bark line on here between two branches where this was one branch and this was another, but there's a big bark line through here. A big crack that runs down the middle of this one. This area here the same. And for me, it's what adds the character to this floor. I had to do some milling because what you can't see is behind you. I still have a plywood floor. There's no hardwood floor over there. Plus the kitchen that I added on, and then the rest of the house will get all of this same flooring. So I milled some yesterday. Thought I would take the opportunity to talk about the mill that I use, because I basically everything that I've milled here has been milled on my 130 by Woodland Mills. So I want to show you some of the footage that's from yesterday out there, combined with showing you the floor and why I do it. Over here, from here to here is covered in ant holes. There's a big crack there. When people come in, it's actually the pieces that it's the stuff that people see that they enjoy. Like, I'll never have anybody ever comment on how perfect this piece of wood is, but they'll see those ant marks and be like, wow, I can't believe you kept that in the floor. That is amazing. So people like to see those little imperfections. I like to say that the boards are a lot like us people. Beauty is found in our imperfections, not in our perfections. So it's what makes us all unique. The same with each one of these boards. They're all unique in themselves, and they don't get lost in each other. Okay, so today I thought I'd do a review on my Woodland Mills HM130MAX. I've had this mill for almost 2 years now, and I bought it for the sole purpose of building the log cabin that's behind you. You can see that through many of my other videos. I want this review to be not for the logger or the guy that does it all the time, but for that guy that has never ran a mill before. When I bought this mill, I'd never even seen a bandsaw mill before. I went on YouTube, I did a little bit of research, mostly on their own page with their own guy, and it just for the price and for the quality, it fit what I was going to do. So for that reason, and I'm going to be honest right now, unless something drastic happens while I'm doing this, I love this mill. I mean, it has done everything that I've wanted it to do. I've milled logs much too large for this thing. Careful, careful, careful. And by the way, I was going to change the blade today before doing this, and I opted to not change the blade because I'm trying to do an honest review. That blade and you can't see it from that angle, but there's rust on the blade because it sat out for a while. Come on. The mill, I keep the motor covered up, but the blade does get wet when it rains. I don't have a shed over top of it. I didn't change the blade because I wouldn't have changed the blade normally. I think I've only cut 1 or 2 pine logs with it. This is a pretty big red oak log, but I want to do an honest review. So by not changing the blade, it makes it just that much more honest. So I'm going to put this away and get that thing fired up, get it warmed up, do a couple passes, and then we'll go from there, and I'll talk about what I like about the mill. There's really, unless, like I say, unless something drastic goes on here, there's nothing I don't like about it. But I'm not milling 100 logs a day, so I can't give that review. My review is for that guy that got some projects around the house and thought maybe I would buy a mill versus paying someone else to cut it. That's who I'm shooting this review for today. Okay, to be absolutely fair, I have not started this engine since the last time I used it. I just want this to be a fair review. So I did just gas it up. Looks like I probably had about a half a tank by the time it was filled up. But I do have a full tank of gas. I went through all my steps with the blade as far as getting it torqued properly, checked all the guides and everything to make sure it was tracking properly. All that stuff has been ran through, but I have not started the engine yet. So what I like to do is choke it, of course, and then get it to run. It starts up really easy normally. Let's just do it. Choke on, gas is on. I must have left it on last time. Key on. I tend to have to give mine a little gas to get it. When I bought this, I knew I wanted to cut more than the track that come with it. I think it was like 10 feet. Don't quote me on that. So I actually bought 2 extension pieces so that I could get that mill out of my way. I don't have big equipment to move the log around. So also that gave me the ability to center this log wherever it just was. I don't have to worry about moving it around too much. So I put 2 extension pieces on this. This log is a little longer than what you could have got without at least 1 extension, but I can even go, I could put another 6 or 8 foot on this thing if I get this log moved down where it needs to be, and then with the extra track I have. I think I have the capability of 21 feet, and I really like, over the years, the longest I think I had, this is probably longer than I've had to do so far. 18 feet is my next one, but I think I've enjoyed that extra track because if I get a log down here that's mammoth but not real long, I don't have to worry about getting it all the way up here. If it goes on the mill in the middle, that's fine, you know. I like, a lot of people have theirs up on trailers, but with me not having any equipment, I like the fact that mine's pretty close to the ground, because when I get a log here, it's off of the trailer and the gravity brings it down to the mill. So that's why mine is really close to the ground. I'm actually not going to keep that one either. I'm going to put that one in the firewood pile as well. There's just not enough there to do anything with. Would have made better firewood if those both would have been together, but that. I've got it. I just got to make sure it doesn't bounce off the other side. We're good. Whew. I've messed around for quite a few hours, just lollygagging around, taking my time. Now I've got this log all squared up. Come on. This is Lavender. Lavender's our new puppy dog. Huh, Lavender. He's a golden retriever. He hasn't met the mill yet. He's my new log dog, so I have a log dog and a log cat. Oh, and he's slippery because he just got a bath. Say hello to the camera. Say hello, everybody. Say I like to poop right beside Daddy's mill. You can come play. I've got the log all squared up. It's just been a nice, easy, laid-back day. It's time to slice it down into 1-inch pieces that will eventually be the hardwood flooring for the cabin. I've got a lot of it done, but I still need more. I have a bunch in the basement already that's been in there for a couple months. I heat with wood, so it dries out really fast down there like that. I'm gonna slice this one up. This one, being we're in spring, will probably get stacked outside somewhere, covered up, stickered, covered, and then I'll do the hardwood floor just when it's ready. I think I've done enough to do an honest review. Not just with what I did today, because I've learned enough about the mill over the last 2 years to do this without any hitches, but going back to even the days that I first started using the mill, it's pretty simple to use. It did what I needed to do, which was cut any of the wood that I needed to build this log cabin. It did everything that I expected it, plus some. I bought a wear kit for it. When I originally bought it, I bought the extra track. I bought extra blades for it. I used the blades and then had them resharpened. This is one of those blades that I've had a professional resharpen near me. The wear kit, the only thing I think I ever used out of it was the belt. Everything else is still the original equipment. I'm just about at the place where, for the cabin project, I'm done with it, and it has held up great. I had planned on selling it when I got done building the log cabin. That's not going to happen now. I just won't. Now that I've used it and I see how easy it is to take a tree from the woods and turn it into sticks to build something, there's no way I'll ever part with it. So I'll be keeping it. If you're on the fence about whether or not to buy a mill and whether or not to buy a Woodland Mills, I would leap. I happened to buy mine. I got really lucky just before COVID hit, and it shipped right at that very beginning time. And boy, did I seem like a wise man at that point, because nobody was, sawmills were shut down, you couldn't even buy lumber, and I had just set my mill up. So I worked right through the whole COVID thing without a glitch, and it was nice to have that comfort of knowing that, you know what, tomorrow morning I can go out and make some sticks. So anyway, A+ on my side. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment. I will answer any questions honestly.